Der Klett-Cotta-Blog ist wieder auf der Frankfurter Buchmesse. Neben mir sitzt Kris van Steenberge. Guten Tag.
Yes, guten Tag.
Sie haben bei uns ein Buch veröffentlicht bei Klett-Cotta mit dem Titel Verlangen. Es geht um Elisabeth, die Tochter des Schmieds, die sich danach sehnt, ihren Heimatort Wösten zu entkommen. Sie versucht, sich Bildung anzueignen und heiratet den jungen Arzt Guillaume Duponcel. Kurz darauf kommen Zwillinge zur Welt. Einer ist sehr entstellt und der Vater weigert sich, ihm den Namen zu geben. Das ist der Anfang der Geschichte. Aber ihr Roman wird plötzlich zu einem Krimi. Der Tod von Elisabeth ist voller Rätsel. Ist das eine Art Turning Point in dem Buch?
I don't know that this is really the turning point. It's a very important point in construction, of course, of my book. But I think it's I think it's more important. For example, that I bring three different men in her life. That's for me more important. And then, because then you can you can see already that there must be that is going to happen something with that three men in her life. And at a certain moment, of course, but that's construction stuff. Then you let it happen that she died and that she's murdered, and then the whole story is retold from other characters' view, so that we can that I as a writer could build the whole story again 3 times, so that the reader is becoming more and more details to resolve this question: who has killed her?
Nachdem Elisabeth ermordet worden ist, kann der Leser eigentlich zunächst keinen der Protagonisten verdächtigen. Ich habe auf dem Blog geschrieben, falsche Verdächtigungen aufgrund des Dorfflurfunks zerstören Existenzen, und nur weil der Autor die Protagonisten reihum über die Jahre hinweg und auch while going back hinweg aus ihrer Perspektive erzählen lässt, kommt allmählich die Wahrheit ans Licht. Is this right?
Yeah, that's right. For me, it was very important that during the different parts, the different chapters of my novel, that I could bring in a new view of every character, of each person, and especially because it's very interesting to dig in their memories, to dig in their history, to dig in their thoughts, what they are thinking during the day, and because I did that, you begin to understand what's happened and why some characters do the things they do in this book. So the flashbacks are very important to dig very deeply in the psyche of the different characters.
The flashbacks are sort also of verification of what one character has said.
Yeah, it's a little bit of verification sometimes of what the characters themselves say, but also sometimes a verification, giving more true story around what other characters have said, and then, because that's in real life, it's also like that. You can say and tell me some stuff, but sometimes it's very interesting that I hear your wife and your children to know more and more clear and with more truth what you have meant with what you said. Okay.
Also die Personen erzählen nacheinander verschiedene Zeitabschnitte, Flashbacks eingeschlossen, aus ihrer jeweiligen Sicht. Ein Puzzle, das dem Leser ein Gesamtbild vermittelt und das uns hilft, den Mörder zu finden. Was war in dem Roman besonders wichtig? Die Handlung, the action, or the technique of the story?
Both. Both. The action is for me very important, because it's through the actions of the different persons, and sometimes that are very simple actions, like drinking a coffee or sitting in the sofa and thinking about someone or something in his life. During that action, the reader is getting more and more information, not only to resolve this murder, but also to understand more of that characters. Because I don't find it really, but you haven't said that. It's not a whodunit. It's more than that. It's for a little part. It's a who has done it, but also it's a psychological story, and it's a very family epos. I say something epic story of a family.
Family epos. I like it also.
Yeah, and that was important for me to tell the actions and to show the actions of the persons. And the other side is the construction of this novel, also very important, because that gives a lot of it gives the construction, like I did it, gives a lot of tension for the reader, and it changes different times, many times from point of view, and that's a little bit disturbing in the beginning, but that's at the end rather erklarend what's happening for the whole story and for the characters. Yeah.
There's another thing. It's the relation to the time on this. Ohne die zeitlichen Bezüge, and you write very fine, very short sentences. In Europa zerbrach die Welt, heißt es auf Seite 108. Krieg ist ein seltsames Tier. Es kriecht langsam in die Menschen hinein. Wie ist dieser zeitliche Bezug? Wie wichtig ist der im Roman?
This kind of sentences.
The relation to the First War. How important is it?
The relation to the First World War is very important. It is not a World War book. That's very important also for the reader to know that isn't. But I wanted to tell a story about twin guys, from which one is very beautiful at his birth, and the other one is mutilated in his face. But that's a little small story, something like a story between you and me. And it's more interesting, and it's more interesting to put that story on a background from a background of a huge historical time point in our own history, and especially then a turning point in our history where mutilation was really an issue. And if you dig in our history, then you find rather easily that the First World War is one of the most important ones if you observe the issue mutilation. And that's why I brought in the World War as a decorum, as a background for my story. Yeah.
There's another theme in your book which is interesting, I think. It's is your novel also a sort of novel of formation, ein Bildungsroman? Ich habe auf dem der Namenlose, den alle nur für beschränkt halten, lernt ungeheuer viel durch Zuhören und durch Beobachten. While observing and listen to the others. Wenn es so vieles gibt, was man nicht kann, schreiben Sie im Buch, schult der Rest umso mehr. When you can not very much, the rest is giving you much more. You're writing the book. Ein Satz auch, niemand wusste, dass ich alles mithörte. Nobody knows that I hear everything. Ist es also auch ein Bildungsroman?
I think so, and not only for namenlos. It's building in that point of view that it's also for Elizabeth. It's a kind of Bildung, but she doesn't succeed in it. And also for Valentine, the other one, the beautiful one, through the whole story, during what is happening with him, he's also learning things of life, and also his mind and his mindset is changing during the whole novel, and I find it very important for characters that they evaluate, that there is something more at the end in their inner feelings, in their psychological feelings, that they are changed after the whole story. And I think that's what you mean, and that's what was really the aim also of me as a writer for this story. Yeah.
Wenn wir jetzt das Interview nochmal machen würden und ich würde Ihnen sagen, Sie können zwischen 3 Themen wählen. The relation between the characters, die Erzähltechnik oder der historische Hintergrund. Was wäre für Sie am wichtigsten?
Die Erzählung.
Die Erzähltechnik.
Die Erzähltechnik, ja, wie man etwas erzählt, ja, das ist sehr wichtig.
Wie man das eben verifiziert durch andere. Das finde ich in Ihrem Roman so gelungen.
Ja, aber das ist auch wichtig für einen guten Roman, finde ich. Das ist das, was ich glaube, dass es wichtig ist.
Und jetzt haben wir herausgefunden, warum man diesen Roman, der Verlangen, unbedingt kaufen sollte und lesen sollte. Vielen Dank.
Danke, gerne.